So this is another story of a big company that probably has too much power. This is from the Verge's Russell Brandom, who reports on Fortnite. So Fortnite, the game that we've talked about in past episodes, a supremely popular game. It's more than a game. It's really a social network. Kids hang out together on Fortnite while playing. So massively popular. They implemented their own in-app payment system for the Apple App Store, which bypass Apple's payment systems. Apple has a built-in payment system that's included in their software development kit, and Fortnite built their own. And as a result, they got kicked off of the App Store. That violated the rules of the App Store, so they got kicked out. When Apple kicked Fortnite out, Fortnite immediately filed a 65-page lawsuit. Epic is the company. Epic is the gaming company that owns Fortnite, so they actually filed the lawsuit. Epic did the same thing to Google for the Google Play Store. These two companies essentially control the market on how mobile software is distributed. Apple gets a 30% commission on any paid downloads.
Wow.
For apps. So if you buy an app, right, 30% of that purchase for the app itself. If you make any in-app purchases, 30% of those purchases. If you're doing a subscription model, it's 30% every month, right? So they're taking a 30% cut. Now, back in the day, there was a 50% commission that would be charged, but that was back when you went and got a physical game from a store. You went to a store and bought a physical game, and there's a whole host of things that need to be paid for. You need to create the disc that the content was contained on, the packaging, the distribution, all of the retail stuff. There's a ton of expenses. Apple just has a store, right? They're not doing anything really to earn that 30% commission. So that's what a lot of people are complaining about Apple's monopoly on the distribution of mobile content. They're really, 30% is a hell of a lot given what they're not doing. Apple made $15 billion in revenue just from the App Store last year. Only from the App Store, not anything else, not their hardware, not anything else. So Epic is accusing Apple of violating the Sherman Act, which is they're alleging that they have a total monopoly on the iOS app distribution market, which, hard to argue that they don't. But Apple, remember, BL, the Apple's 1984 commercial?
Yes.
Their iconic 1984 commercial with a woman in the running attire throwing a sledgehammer into the massive screen of the omniscient authoritarian, riffing off George Orwell. So Epic, along with the lawsuit, they accompanied a brilliant cause marketing video that parodies the Apple 1984 commercial. There's a menacing Apple head with a chunk bitten out of its side on the screen. The power is ours and ours alone. And the scared audience watching. And then in walks the Fortnite character, comes into the hall wearing a rainbow shirt and carrying a unicorn axe, which she tosses at the Apple head and shatters the screen. So it's a complete parody of the Apple 1984 commercial. It closes with #FreeFortnite. And that video has accumulated since August 13, 5.5 million views. That's 4,056 views per hour, 255,000 likes, 61,800 comments, and 10,000 social shares. So they're getting some headway on this. But there's a lot of other tech companies that are rooting for Fortnite, Spotify among them, because Apple has that monopoly basically.
Well, on the other hand, a lot of app developers became very wealthy because they were able to be on the Apple platform. So there really is another side to this. And I don't know exactly. I guess what they're saying is that they don't want Apple to take the money directly, but Apple has every right to take a percentage.
So you're pro monopoly? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm pro Apple. I think that what they've done is they've given a lot of small companies the opportunity to reach a huge audience.
That is what Apple would say. But I don't think there's any argument. Yeah, I don't know how you get around the fact that they are a monopoly. They are. If you want to get on iPhones, you have to go through Apple and you have to accept their 30%.
What's wrong with that?
Monopolies are wrong. It is the Sherman Act. That's what's wrong with it.
So go somewhere else.
You can't if it's a monopoly. That's the whole point.